You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, your mind racing. Sleep evades you as you keep thinking about how to help your husband. Suddenly, an idea strikes you, and you immediately sit up. You reach over and shake Jungkook gently. Jungkook, wake up, please, you whisper gently. He groans in annoyance, turning over. Fine, because of you, I had to travel in buses and metros. It was hellishly tiring, so let me sleep. His tone stinge and you persist. Jungkook, please, just 1 minute. He sighs loudly, sitting up reluctantly. Fine, what now? What did you mess up this time? Your cheeks heat up, but you ignore his jab. Something struck me. You say, your voice filled with excitement. He raises an eyebrow, his expression bored. You have a mind. I didn't know that. You whine. Jungkook, at least listen to me. Fine, go on, he says, waving a hand dismissively. You take a deep breath. I just remembered I have a house in Busan. Jungkook stares at you blankly. So, it's my grandparents' home. You explain quickly. We can live there. At least we won't have to pay rent. He gives you a pointed look, shaking his head. You really are Brainless swine. Do you know how long this court battle could I take? I can't leave Seoul. You don't have to be there every day for hearings, you argue. You can travel when necessary, please, Jungkook. Think about it, at least we can save money. He sighs deeply, rubbing his temples. You have taught a billionaire to worry about money. Congratulations, wifey. You pout, your eyes pleading. Jungkook, please. After a long pause, he relents. Fine, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. Now, let me sleep. You nod, whispering, I'm sorry, he mutters. You should be before. Lying back down and drifting off, you watch him sleep, your heart heavy with guilt and determination. You have to make things right for him and for both of you. Next day, you stand in front of your grandparents' old home, staring at the weathered exterior. It feels strange being after so long. You can't help but steal a glance at Jungkook, hoping to gauge his reaction. His expression is unreadable, but you can sense his discomfort as he scans the modest surroundings. You nervously, I'm sorry, Jungkook, this house, it is so small and old. You fiddle with your fingers, feeling embarrassed. This place you once cherished now look too insignificant to bring him into. Jungkook sighs. It's still better than that dirty hotel room. Let's go. He takes your hand firmly, leading you toward the entrance. You feel a slight wave of relief until, as soon as he steps inside, he begins sneezing uncontrollably. Jungkook, are you okay? You reach out to him, your worry growing with every sneeze. Sneezing. I'm allergic to dirt. Sneezing again. There's so much dirt here. His voice is strained and his eyes are watery as he waves his hand in front of his face. You stammering. It's because it's been locked up for ages. I'm so sorry. You feel helpless watching him struggle, but his sharp glare makes your heart sink further. Do something, Van. I'm going to die. You rolling your eyes. Oh, come on, Jungkook. No one dies from sneezing. He stops sneezing just long enough to glare at you. His piercing gaze makes you bite your lip in regret for trying to lighten the mood. Brian, his tone is low, a warning you know better than to ignore. Okay, come with me. You grab his hand and guide him up to the terrace, where you spot an all wooden stool. You dust it off with your hand, but the layer of the cream is too thick. Sit here while I clean our room, Jungkook raising an eyebrow. Our room? You correcting yourself. I mean my grandparents' room. That will be our room now. Sit. He gestures toward the door with your eyes, but he doesn't budge, instead signaling with his own eyes to the dirt still visible on it. Oh, just a minute. You look around from something to clean it, but with gum up and empty handed. Finally, without much thought, you sit down on the stool yourself, using your backside to wipe the dirt away. Standing up, you flash him a triumphant smile. You can sit now. Seriously, Van, what? Shaking his head. You're so unhygienic. You shrugging. I'm not allergic to dirt like you are. Just sit here, okay? I'll call you when I'm done with cleaning. Bye. As he leaned down to pack his lips, he leans back, his expression one of pure horror. Don't touch me while wearing those dirty clothes. You roll your eyes, frustrated but not wanting to argue. Fine. You head back downstairs, determined to clean up the place quickly. The house is tiny, just a small kitchen, a single hall, and one bedroom filled with all dusty furniture. You start with the bedroom, focusing on making it livable for Jungkook, who you know must be exhausted from traveling. The task is harder than you expected. The sight of the family room brings back the memories. Tear wells up as you recall the warm laughter of your grandparents, the countless meals shared at the small dining table, and the night you spent curled up in their arms. The house feels empty without them, and for a moment you let yourself to get into this. After finishing the bedroom, you move on to the kitchen and hall. The small space feels even smaller as you scrub every corner, trying to erase years of neglect. By the time you are done, your back aches and your stomach growls loudly. You make your way back to the room, finding Jungkook peacefully sleeping on the bed you just cleaned. He looks so serene, his features soft and his breathing steady, but the sight fills you with frustration. You shaking his shoulder. Jungkook, wake up, let's go shopping. Jungkook groggily, shopping? Are you seriously, Van? He rubbed his eyes, his voice heavy with sleep. Grocery shopping, Jungkook. There's nothing to cook here, and I'm starving. His lips up slightly, reaching for his wallet, pulling out a single 1001 note. He hands it to you. That's it. This isn't enough, Jungkook. Just buy some ramen. Are you planning to eat ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? We'll have to. I don't have enough money, Van. You frowning. You sold a diamond ring, Jungkook. I can't waste money on these things. I need to save for the lawyer's fee. Just buy ramen. You feel a lump in your throat. You push it down. At least come with me, Jungkook. I am too tired. You family. I'm that too, Jungkook. I clean the entire house. Come on, let's go grocery shopping together. A billionaire going grocery shopping, man. Give me a break. You're not a billionaire anymore. Jungkook. Yeah, thanks to a brainless woman. Now don't eat my mind. He turns away, giving you his back, and lies down again. The words sting, piercing your heart in a way you didn't expect. Fighting back tears, you grab your bag and leave the house alone. The loneliness settles in as you walk toward the grocery stores, your steps heavy with the weight of his words. You step out of the house, feeling the exhaustion from the day's work weighing heavily on your shoulders. As you take a deep breath of a fresh air outside, your eyes scan the surroundings for any signs of a grocery shop. The quiet neighborhood with its narrow lanes and the modest houses looks as sleepy as ever. You muttering to yourself, is there even a shop nearby, or do I have to walk a whole kilometer? Oh god, I can't walk that far. I am so tired. You sigh deeply, rubbing your temples in frustration before glancing around again. Just as you are about to give up and start walking, you feel a sudden tap on your shoulder. Startled, you whip around, your heart racing silently. Ah, Yuna, auntie, you scared me. Your tense shoulders relax when you see her, a familiar face. She looks older than you remember, but still carries the same warmth in her eyes. Yuna, auntie, smiling. You're fine, right? I haven't seen you here since your appa passed away. Her words hit a tender spot in your heart, and you take a moment to compose yourself before answering. You smiling friendly, hello auntie, how are you? And how's uncle? You step forward and hug her, her frail arms wrapping around you gently. He left me last year. The weight of her words sinks in, and you pull back slightly to look at her eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, auntie. She waves off your concern with a bittersweet smile, as if she's come to the terms with her loss. It's okay, dear. You tell me, how are you? Her question lingers in the air for a moment as you avoid her gaze. You don't want to burden her with your own struggles, so you change the subject. Oh, auntie, do you live here all alone? Your voice is filled with concern, knowing she and uncle didn't want children. Yuna, auntie, nodding. Yes, it's just me and the memories your uncle left behind. Her words tug at your heartstrings, and you can't help but admire her strength. Oh, auntie, you're such a strong lady. Her smile widens at your compliment before her eyes sparkle with curiosity. Now you tell me, how's your husband? I heard you married a rich man. The mention of Jungkook makes you pause briefly. You nod hesitantly, unsure how to respond. You nodding. Hmm. Yuna auntie reasonably, don't tell me he's old and bald. Her playful tone makes you laugh lightly, shaking your head. No, he's young. Don't you think I'm a gold digger, auntie? Her eyes widen and she chuckles, patting your arm apologetically. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry, dear. Anyway, where are you heading now? To a grocery shop. There's nothing to cook at home and I need to get some things. Oh, I'm heading there too. Let's walk together. You feel a sense of relief at her offer and fall into step beside her. As you shop together, Auntie Sharp Eyes don't miss your hesitation and every price tag. He raises her brows slightly as you carefully count the few notes in your hand. By the time you're sitting with her in a nearby coffee shop, you've already spilled everything your struggles, Jungkook's financial situation, and the betrayal of his stepmother. Yuna auntie outraged. What's a horrible woman? How can she do that to her own son? Her voice is filled with anger and she's not holding back her feelings. You correcting her, her stepson. Still, a son is a son. There is no excuse for such behavior. You lower your gaze, stirring the tea in your cup abstinently. Auntie's outrage feels comforting as if someone is finally on your side. Let's go, Auntie. Jungkook must be waiting for me. He's hungry. Her expression softens at your words and a small smile creeps onto her face. You mentioned it was his birthday yesterday. Didn't you? Wait here, let me buy him a cake. You quickly waving your hands. No, no, auntie, it is okay. There is no need for that. But she's already standing, a determined look on her face. Yuna auntie waving you off. Just wait here, dear. I won't take long. Before you can protest further, she walks off toward the bakery counter, leaving you feeling a mixture of gratitude and embarrassment. You watch her fondly, silently thankful for her kindness. To be continued.